Hey everybody, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here at Bizdata eZintegrations. We're excited to show you what we have to offer with our AI and data integration platforms, specifically in the healthcare space. I'm joined by colleague and partner David Brennigan, who runs his integration consulting business, Data Slice, in the Seattle area. And we have a past history. We worked with another integration company we'll discuss as well a couple years ago. So nice to get together, David, and appreciate getting together here with you. So let's get started. We're going to give you an idea of the latest and greatest on Gen AI in the healthcare space. Share some of the impacts that we've seen in the industry. Cover some real world use cases and customer success stories here at Bizdata, and introduce you to our next gen iPaaS tool, eZintegrations, and let David talk a little bit about shifts that he's seen in the medical and healthcare space using traditional integrations, and what we're seeing with the AI space into next gen integrations. So let's get started here. We'll do a brief introduction and move to the next slide here. One second. There we go. So a little bit about myself. I've been with Bizdata for a short while now. Have about 10 plus years experience in integration platform as a service, cloud security, software as a service, startups and enterprise companies. Worked at a couple companies, Hewlett Packard, Checkpoint Security, Jitterbit, who also does integration, where David and I spent some time together. Here at Bizdata, I work a lot with managing day-to-day sales with new customers, existing customers, bringing in net new business, working with our marketing and partner teams, and enabling a lot of our system integrator partners, go-to-market strategies with them, helping their consulting business, and making our customers successful and happy. Like I mentioned, David and I were at Jitterbit for a couple years now, a couple years prior, and really saw the business grow substantially, from a small startup of about 20 people to multinational integration company in various continents in the U.S. So let's get started here. What we're going to cover today is some of the integration challenges and impact of AI and healthcare data integration, the overall landscape, cover traditional methods of integration as a service versus AI-driven integration, what potential we're seeing in the marketplace, and what the advantages of moving from legacy integration platforms to next gen. From there, we're going to give you more of an overview of our eZintegrations tool for iPaaS, how AI alleviates a lot of the challenges I've mentioned before. We'll break into AI workflows and integration, how the healthcare space is being really revolutionized by some of these new technologies. From there, we'll get into a brief demo of the eZintegrations platform, what benefits you can start to see with it, some of the challenges that some of our customers have faced, and some of the return on their investment that they've started to realize. And we can also cover how to get started and get your trial set up. After that, we'll run into questions and answers. We'll open it up at the end to have anybody participate. You're more than happy to put your questions in the chat box, but please save those till the end. And we can also address those on a personal basis. We'll give you a way to contact us, or if you want to be contacted to learn more on the platform. So I'll turn it over to David to introduce himself and talk about what he's been doing, and get into some of the challenges and changes in healthcare.
All right. Thank you, Scott. And you should be able to see my slide deck now, right, Scott? Just checking with you.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, it's on
Okay,
the title page for it.
cool. All right, so I'm just going to start out with a brief introduction of myself, and then we'll go into the different topics that Scott had outlined. So I'm David Brannigan. I'm the founder of dataslice.com. It's a small boutique services company that provides services for iPaaS platforms. So if you want to integrate and be successful on the iPaaS platform, you can utilize our services. Um, I founded the company in 2002, or 2022, um, and since then, in the last couple of years, we've implemented hundreds of use cases. We've got tens of customers. We do architecture, design assistance, and co-implementation of some very complex systems, including healthcare, but across the spectrum, right? I used to work at Sybase, so I have database background, Sybase and Oracle, so I've got a relational database background. Obviously at Jitterbit Healthcare, I've got integration background and also integration background from IBM and service-oriented architecture background at WebLogic. So I've been in this space for about 15 years. So if you do have any questions around this as we go through this, you're welcome to ask them as we go along, and we'll try to address them as well. All right, so with that, we'll go ahead and get started and talk about some of the current healthcare um, healthcare challenges that we're seeing. And within the healthcare integration space, I've listed here just a few of the challenges that we're currently seeing outside of AI. So this is just things around quality of the data, device integration. So devices might speak one protocol, they might be proprietary, you might not be able to get at their databases in a certain specific way, you might have to use an alternative way. So getting at device data is challenging. Um, then when you're integrating the data, there's difficulties around that because you might have various sources of truth. So you might need to have something like an integration tool that's sort of like a hub and spoke that can um, provide you that truth and provide a workflow that can be integrated within the tool. And that gives you a better quality of data um, overall. And some of the other challenges that you're going to have or that you do have without AI and with AI is things with data. So large amounts of data, processing large amounts of data in a very efficient time. So being able to do things um, in an AI LLM to make those things more efficient and faster are very important. Um, you even have standards nowadays. So you've got the FHIR standard, but you've also got different versions of that. You've got different versions of XML, different versions of JSON, and obviously different versions of CSV files, right? Um, and then on top of that, you've got authentication mechanisms, OAuth 1.0a, 2.0, basic authentication, APIs, API keys, etc. So you've got um, all these different challenges that you need to deal with. And then, when you're thinking of all these different devices and systems that you're integrating with, how do you get detailed logs for an integration? So end to end. And also keeping, I did mention this earlier, but keeping the quality of the data. Um, and some of the challenges one of the challenges that I haven't listed here are like staff challenges, learning a new technology and getting their acceptance of that new technology. That's another challenge. So getting them involved in new technologies from the get-go is really important. So how can AI help? Um, I've listed 4 pillars off on the left-hand side, get my left and right correct, off on the left-hand side, fragmented healthcare data, manual processes in healthcare, security of that data, and then integration of your EHR and healthcare systems. And there's other ones, but I just took those 4 pillars and I wanted to discuss those a little bit. So first one around fragmented healthcare. AI, I believe, as I've listed here, AI can integrate and analyze diverse healthcare data sources for comprehensive insights. What this is going to allow you to do is give you faster and quicker insights and insights that are less error prone, but you still need to validate that let's say the AI doesn't suggest something or imply something that's impossible or you can't do. So still needs oversight, but you can do things faster, quicker, and less error prone. In terms of manual processes, you can automate, AI can help you automate those manual processes by increasing the quality of that data that you're using. The data still needs to be, when you're feeding AI and using AI, that data needs to be reliable. It has to be trustworthy to get optimal results and to get ethical results, right? So AI can help there. Um, that although the data needs to be reliable. In terms of data security, I did mention ethical implications and privacy and stuff. You need to make sure that you're aligned with the HIPAA requirements. AI can ensure compliance of security risks as long as it's fed the correct data, but also human oversight's needed, right? AI is not the panacea for everything, right? And then the last bullet item I've listed is integration of EHR and healthcare systems. Um, things things you might do with those integrations is building things like an AI chatbot. But again, that data needs to be clean, needs to be reliable and trustworthy for those optimal results. So those are the 4 pillars that I've listed about how I believe that AI can help. And if we go to the next slide here, we talk about healthcare integration. This visual is basically we're taking a bunch of different EHR systems. Probably Cerner, Epic, and Allscripts. At least in my opinion, those are probably the biggest ones on the left-hand side. And then through data manipulation, data transformation, etc. In the center is Bizdata, right? This is potentially producing or consuming PDFs, producing or consuming JSON or XML, all this different data that the devices or these EHRs are producing can then go into a dashboard and be fed into a dashboard. And if there's any errors along that path, you'll be able to look at the logs within Bizdata and see exactly where that error happened and be able to rectify that error. So what are the impacts of AI in healthcare in general? Um, I've worked on a lot of different healthcare projects for past integration vendor, and one of those was for a large oncology society, right? And one of the things we did was improve um, their data, the quality of that data. We were asked to federate data from 1,500 different doctors' practices from different EHR systems, all scripts, and flat files, and wherever they have this data stored, and federate that data together so they could do queries against the federated data set. A doctor in a particular doctor's office, let's say in Ohio, can query and say, I see this patient, this 28-year-old female patient in California had breast cancer. What type of treatment was she given and what was the response from that? So all that sort of stuff, AI algorithms can improve the diagnostics from it, right? Um, EHR system integration, we've talked about that in various ways, but seamless integration of EHR records is paramount. In this case, it's going to reduce manual errors. And sometimes these EHR systems are proprietary and it's very difficult to get at that data. So sometimes it's necessary to pull out the data as a PDF instead of potentially directly at a database. The third item here is conversational AI. Um, there potentially could be ethical implications around this in terms of how the data is, what data is fed in order to improve your patient engagement. But that, as I mentioned before, the data needs to be, it has to be clean data in order to get optimal results out of it. And it's also AI is not like a one-time cost. There's not necessarily a need to continually feed the AI beast, but there does need to be maintenance of your LLMs, and that could be upwards of 25% of your original AI costs in order to implement AI. But it's something to keep in mind because you never want you want to get your ROI, right? And you need to realize that it's just not a one-time cost. In terms of personalized medicines, AI can create tailored treatment plans, but again, it needs human oversight. You need clinical validation and testing to ensure that there's, safety around that, in my opinion. And as you look at this list, I think probably the takeaway from this is, I've mentioned it a couple times, is that each of these is the human brain, right? It's it's the thought process. It's making sure that there's human oversight on this. It's to augment that decision or action in a positive way. So you're increasing speed, you're increasing the quality of something, or you're doing both. Um, so in terms of, and I just have a few more impacts I see of AI in healthcare. Um, so drug discovery, potentially identifying new drugs, repurposing existing ones. Again, the data needs to be um, uh, valid and so you can get your return on investment. You have to have that clinical validation, that clinical testing. Wearable technology. There's a lot of data and real-time data coming from patient monitoring devices nowadays, whether it be a watch device, a wrist device, chest device, or other type of wearable device. And it generates a lot of data. So again, you're going to need a lot of computing power, CPU, in order to analyze and run an AI engine on this. Expected return on investment for healthcare. I always, you know, I always recommend weighing the AI benefits against your costs. And as I had mentioned, maintenance as well, because it could be 25% of your investment in AI. So we've seen up to 30% reduction in administrative costs through um, automating tasks. And this is also, you know, that administrative cost savings. I found that when companies involve the employees in the process, the the there's no hesitation or distrust, and um, the staff, their performance improves drastically instead of the pushback that you might see where um, the staff is not involved and the product is rolled out when it's ready. So I would say involve staff, train staff, get them to accept, and you'll see administrative costs drop, in my opinion. Efficiency gains. So that's obviously just freeing up time to allow more time for patient care. You're going to see revenue growth, cost avoidance as well. And in terms of conversational AI, improved patient engagement. Um, that really depends on the quality and that source of that data. I can't emphasize that enough. It's essential to ensure that the data is reliable, trustworthy, ethical, depending on what it is. You don't want to feed it um, a bunch of data that's biased because of potential questionnaires that humans have asked in the past or something, but it needs human oversight. So that's what I'll just say about that. All right, so now we're going to look at comparison with traditional methods, right? And this is with eZintegrations and kind of your traditional integration method. Traditional integration method being manual data entry, and everybody knows that that's not good. We try to automate data, and that data usually comes from one of four different sources, right? It's coming from some sort of a file, a CSV file, an Excel spreadsheet or something, maybe an FTP site or something, um, or it's going to come from potentially an API, a SOAP or REST-based API, or a database, or some connector within the tool that utilizes those methods, and that's going to help you eliminate that time-consuming, error-prone process and improve the accuracy. Um, so error rates, bad thing. So and inaccurate data, and obviously that's poor decision leads to poor decision making. So ensuring the integrity of the data and the quality of the data um, it is essential, right? Scalability. So it's difficult to adapt growing data needs and integration demands. So in the past, um, those systems, those traditional integration systems need to be manually scaled. And so having a flexible, scalable iPaaS solution will allow you to easily adapt your future integration requirements, scale up or down as your needs. Um, and let's go to the next one. AI workflows in healthcare. Okay, so these are the four items that we're seeing that we believe can revolutionize healthcare with AI enhancements. So automating repetitive tasks, freeing up freeing up time. We've talked about that a bit during my discussion. It's speed and reliability, and sometimes you can have one and not the other. So um, you want to try to get speed and reliability both. Enhance data accuracy and consistency. AI ensures data integrity and reduces the risks of errors. So without that human um, human human hands, the manual intervention there, as long as it's automated, we can ensure data integrity and then have that human oversight later to make sure that things are accurate. Enabling real-time data insights, because in my opinion, because AI can process large data sets and large amounts of data, you're going to have large systems dealing with this. You're going to have large disk space, you're going to have large RAM, you're going to have a large number of CPUs. So that's going to allow you to process that data in real time with the assistance of AI. So, and with that, the timely patient care, right? Getting answers to patients' questions at the right time is very important. And like if it's data from a chatbot, chatbots have become more and more sophisticated with machine learning capabilities. So going back to the data that feeds the chatbot, make sure that that data is clean data so you have accurate and efficient responses that are ethical. So I've listed some examples uh, around AI and integration and how it could potentially be used. Um, in terms of AI document understanding, this data can connect to all kinds of different data sources, um, healthcare sources, as well as non-healthcare sources, things like CouchDB or MongoDB, where they're documents, right? Or NoSQL databases. And using AI, you can extract insights from those medical records, the PDFs, and all that unstructured data. So that's going to help you understand your data better. So conversational AI in healthcare, enhancing patient engagement and support. It's really, really important, the quality and the source of the data that goes into that. So you have proper patient engagement and support. So make sure that the validation and testing is done properly, that you get your staff trained and engaged and accepted into a solution that you're going to deploy. In generative AI for healthcare, it's just in creating personalized treatment plans and medical reports. This goes back again to the quality of data, but also to the ethical, making sure that the data that went in to creating that treatment plan and those medical reports was the proper data, right? It wasn't biased in some way. So you need human oversight. I don't think that's ever going to go away. And you need these occasional checks into spot checks into the data to make sure that the AI engine is doing the right thing. And then you can pivot and change your integration workflow appropriately, because you'll have logs from end to end to tell you what the integration is doing, so you can then go in and tweak it as necessary. All right, so I think at this point, I flip back over to you, Scott, where we get an introduction to um,
Yes.
eZintegrations, sir.
Yes. Thank you, David. No, great info, and yeah, thank you for walking us through that. So yeah, let's transition over to Bizdata's eZintegrations tool. Like I said, it's an integration platform as a service. Next gen AI enabled, can work in not only healthcare but really any source, target, on-premise, cloud, you name it. But yeah, let's show you a couple slides on how to get started in the basics on that. So being eZintegrations is a AI-powered iPaaS solution. Being AI-driven data integration platform, we give you the power to integrate with any data source, on-premise cloud, any open API we can tap into. We have an API marketplace, which we can walk you through as well. But really, it's for helping you connect with any data source, ERP, SEM, PLM, PRM, a lot of acronyms. So EPM being just a sample, but we can work with CRMs like Salesforce, Oracle, SAP, NetSuite, e-commerce stores, Shopify, really being the hub and spoke model that can manage and help you integrate a lot of these disparate and various systems. But with healthcare, we can really help you enable and work with EHR systems, EMRs, HL7s, and others. So let's move into a lot of the EHR systems that we work with. So really connecting any EHR system to any third-party data source. A lot of these are used by some of the biggest medical associations here in the U.S. EMDs we've done some work with. Uh, Epic, Cerner, eClinicalWorks, Allscripts. I mean, these are used by some of the biggest hospital and healthcare organizations here, really throughout the world. So, really helping with extracting and sourcing and helping various integrations move from source to target, whether it's PDF files, Word files. There's no limitation on the size of the document. So some of the samples of benefits with eZintegrations, using AI, we can automate, streamline a lot of your data processes, minimalizing manual efforts. Error detection is a lot more easier to get visualization into. Our API marketplace I mentioned is very accessible to customers, partners, and a lot of the reusable recipes for API connections are pre-configured and also very customizable. Data processes are very efficient, more accurate than using traditional methods. The operating costs are very quantifiable, that are easy to reduce. It doesn't require as many IT teams to manage and deploy and operate a lot of these process. You're really going to see return on investment within the first 12 months. The amount of IT's time and staff involved is going to be minimized. So that's really where you start to see the benefit, that it doesn't take a whole team to manage and process these. It can really be done by one or two people. So that's really where the ROI comes in the first year. It's very easy to predict, with minimal investment, and really the subscription cost is the upfront cost, and there's really nothing else, that comes up, throughout the journey. So we can touch on some of our customer case studies here at Bizdata. Without getting into the weeds too much. This gives you an idea of some of the success stories that we typically see with clients that aren't really sure how to get started, or how to go forward on their own. A lot of the challenges we typically see are disparate systems with delays in patient data records, reductions in data for not having the right information to make the important decisions in a timely manner. Typically integrating and implementing eZintegrations, customers go live within a few days. You start to see the results right away, with data processing time being reduced by as much as 50%. Data is straight up easier to access, very preventable for data loss, and integrity is a lot more freed up for IT teams to concentrate on other top concerning projects, where they don't have to be pulled into custom coding or having to do things on the fly. So the cost savings is really something that can be realized within 6 to 12 months. So IT spend is going to be less, the time involved is going to be less, and really start to see the benefit of a flat rate subscription based model. So looking at some of our EHR use cases, some of the bigger EHRs out there, Cerner, Epic, Athena Health, EMDs. A lot of our clients come in, having the need to connect with, disparate databases, Oracle, SAP, SQL Server. These are all ones that are very common. Other areas like the AWS Marketplace, Amazon Seller Central integrations with EHRs, sending radiology data, cancer data, clinical data. Usually it's done in maybe a PDF file or a Word document or Excel files. Can be very accessible using an SFTP type method. So reading documents, no matter what the file, is more accessible, easier to access, easier to integrate, whether it's medical, pharmaceutical, or clinical information. And, not to mention the support documents are there, but the reporting tools are really nice to have for, the business analyst. The data is very easy to uh, integrate and get in the hands of the maybe the decision maker or the chief financial officer, because that's really what they like to see is the impact that happens on the business side. So we have a brief demo video that we're going to cover here. I'll walk you through it. We'll show you how the eZintegrations AI in action with our Goldfinch would be in real time. So I'm gonna, just run through this real quick. So bear with us here. We're gonna
Dr. Karen can now get quick.
mute the and play back a little bit quicker here, just for time savings. So this gives you an idea of how a healthcare practitioner would run through our AI Goldfinch with eZintegrations. There's a chatbot enabled. You can really come in and ask any question you want, and it can give you the right information. Pretty similar like how a chat GPT or AI search would just be doing for looking for various information, but it really gives you all the information that you need for the healthcare practitioner. Pretty neat to see how this can come out and just give exactly what you're looking for, just asking kind of a generic vague question. And we try and stump this from time to time, and throw maybe a wrench or two into the system, and it can really decipher and pick up on the right data that the person's looking for. Speed this up here a little bit. So for a clinical worker, a healthcare worker, business analyst, this would be a really useful tool, I think, in their day-to-day activities. And David, stop me if you want to disagree, but I think this is just the infancy of kind of how we're seeing AI in the healthcare space.
I think everybody's actually implementing a chatbot, so
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree with you. Yeah, that seems to be the first stop.
Yeah, I mean, chatbots, I think, when people are getting customer service or paying their bill or, wanted to do things manually, it seems like no matter what age they are or technical level, I think, the chatbot is always most um, efficient and convenient for most people. So I think it's really starting to be more adopted. Healthcare is just the first step. So that's just a sample of how the AI interface would work in eZintegrations, and just for uh, time savings, we could spend 30 minutes on it, but obviously we don't have that amount of time today. But just wanted to give you a snapshot of what it looks like. Let's see here. Let me get out of this video. Let's see. Second here. go back to my slides here. Okay, so we're open to questions and answers. We're happy to do it more on a personal side, but we have the chat function in the GoToMeeting area, and you can also email us at info@bizdata360.com, and we're happy to offer a free trial and evaluation of our eZintegrations platform. It's very easy to implement and run on your own, but sometimes people just don't have the time or bandwidth, so we're happy to walk you through it as well. So we'll leave that open, and any questions, we'll leave it open if you want to chat us, email us, be pinged. You can go to our website and say be contacted. Leave that up to you. And wanted to turn it back over to David to talk a little bit about his background a little bit, and his consulting side, and we partner together, and I'll let him speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Yeah, just to recap it, I'm a small business owner, offer services for iPaaS platforms, Bizdata being one of them. I'm stateside based, although I have I do have some clients in other countries, but I am stateside based. I can manage your integration service. I could provide a service to you, or I can do services for you. And I'm really about doing what's the ethical right thing, and doing it in an ethical way. Um, so, yeah, thanks. Thanks for inviting me to present today, Scott. I appreciate that, and I hope folks have found at least some of the data useful from me. And I am available for any kind of consultation afterwards if you'd like to have a chat. There's a link at the bottom of this slide that you can go and grab some time. I'm happy to have a 30-minute chat with any of you on this call. If you want to just mention that you're on the Bizdata call with me, I'm happy to give you an hour of free consultation, and I can see how we could help you solve your most complex integration tool and get you implementing at the speed of your thoughts. So thank you again, Scott.
Absolutely. No, it's been a pleasure, and yeah, really appreciate you getting together with us, and um, we appreciate the partnership, and yeah, happy to help. So um, let's conclude here. So let me get talk a little bit about our free trial. Like I mentioned, it's very easy to get up and running on your own. For any business analyst, doesn't require. It's a low-code platform. Very robust scripting language. You can download it right from our website. It's on the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. There's a lot of areas where you can find it on various uh, shared websites. Like I mentioned, you can get up and running within a few minutes. We're happy to walk you through it. Some of the real-time benefits that we typically see is ROI. Within 10 to 12 months, it's very easy to implement and deploy and manage on your own. And it's pretty much flat rate pricing. We're happy to walk you through the licensing as well, but very competitive to a lot of the industry leading integration platform as a service providers. You can find it at our website, bizdata360.com. Happy to take any questions on a one-to-one basis, email, video. We can have a phone call, but yeah, it's very easy to get up and running on our own. And great tool. Have a lot of great feedback and comments from integration veterans, and they love the ease of use, and it's very competitively priced compared to all the leaders out there. So nothing but good things to say, and really kind of makes the healthcare AI struggle a lot easier for a lot of healthcare providers. So we'll conclude today. Really appreciate everybody getting together. David, thank you so much for doing this with us, and we'd love to do some more again. And we're always open to comments, feedback from our audience too. So we'll have a recording too. We're happy to share. But yeah, we'll give you guys back your lunchtime here in on the West Coast, and thank you again for attending.